Hello and welcome back everyone to my Advent tag extravaganza. I'm so excited to see what you guys have been creating. It's been really wonderful and varied. You may be wondering what we're going to do with these tags. You guys have already come up with some brilliant suggestions of different things we could do with them. So of course they could be a gorgeous label on a present. You could hang them up as a little kind of Christmas garland around your fireplace if you wanted to. You could hang them on your Christmas tree even. There are lots of things you could do with them, but and I might do some of those throughout December. You could eat, some people have suggested giving them away as well as gifts, as alternative Christmas cards, or even go and tie them on neighbours' door handles or gate posts around the neighbourhood, so they've got a mystery little gift, which would be a lovely little blessing for your neighbourhood. So those are some fantastic ideas. I am going to hang on to mine. I might display them in various ways throughout Christmas, but in January, or maybe even between Christmas and January. No, I don't think so. I think realistically it'll be January. I am going to make mine into a little tag book, which I will show you how I do here on YouTube. That is, for me, going to involve sticking them back to back, which I did want to make you aware of, just in case you guys have been writing on the back. I mean, if you want to do some secret journaling on the back, that's ideal, because then no one will ever know it exists. But if you've got stuff on the back that you want to revisit, that is going to be a problem. So I probably should have said that earlier, but I'm saying it now. If you're going to make a tag book with me, we are going to end up sticking these guys back to back like that in some format, just so you know. I've got my Advent kit here, which is getting bigger by the minute. I'm always too greedy about the kind of supplies that I want. So for today's word, I am going to do wind, which my daughter thought was hilarious. But I love the idea of the Holy Spirit as wind, the presence of God as wind, blowing on us, blowing on the earth. I thought that that's a really fun idea to explore. So that's the one that I feel drawn to today. And because the wind moves things around, it's really interesting, isn't it? We don't see the wind, but we see the effects of the wind. And same is true of God. So my daughter's even got a little book about it. I think it's called Why Can't We See God? And it talks about how we might not see God because he's invisible, but we see the effects of God moving in us and in the world, like we see the effects of the wind. We do, of course, see God at Christmas time because he came as a physical being so that we could see him, we could look at him and see what he looks like and see how he acts and see what he says. And he's been gracious enough to reveal himself to us in human form as Jesus, that baby in the manger. But back to wind. I'm thinking I want a lighter tag for this, probably. Which one am I going to choose? I'm going to go for this one, I think. Now, because wind moves things, I was thinking we need a bit of movement in this tag. And I was thinking it would be nice to do what are they called? I've forgotten what they're called. I've got it. They're called shaker pockets. I had to go away and look it up. Honestly, my brain fog. Okay, so a shaker pocket. What is a shaker pocket? So a shaker pocket is an idea where you have a little packet container. It's see-through. It's usually some kind of cellophane, and you put little bits inside it like confetti. or glitter, or anything that's small and that will move around and looks interesting, and you create a little pocket to contain those sparkly bits, but they can still move around, they're not glued down, so you can shake it and they look all sparkly and fun. And that reminded me of snow globes. We have a collection, we've got about 3 or 4 of them, snow globes that the kids absolutely love, and we get them out at Christmas time. And so I thought we'd make a little snow globe shaker pocket. I need to go and find my sparkly bits, and I fancy doing a circular one because of the snow globe idea. Oh, I might even put the word in as well. That would be fun, wouldn't it, to have the word jingle jangling around in there too. I found some sparkly stars in different colours and some sparkly snowflakes. I wish they were silver, but I've only got gold. So I am going to, so this is like a shaker pocket basically. This is like kind of the idea. You'll see. So I am using this cellophane packet that had some kind of stationery item in, but have a look at what you've got in your bin, like packaging from clothes and things like that. Slightly sturdier cellophane is better, or plastic is better. You could use a plastic bag, like a plastic food bag. So you kind of have to experiment with what works. I'm experimenting. I haven't done this before. So I'm going to put a few of these in here. I don't want loads. And I'm going to put quite a lot of silver stars, I think. It's handy because this is like already a bag. It's already got things going on. I'm going to put maybe 1 or 2 little red stars as well. I think I'm going to put my word in. That's kind of cool. You don't want too much going on because you want it to move around. I thought about putting some leaves in as well, of that idea of leaves blowing around in the wind, to go back to our word. This is like a little leaf punch. See those? Sorry, it's kind of evening and very dark in this house. I'm struggling to get a good light today. I have got all the lights on. I think it's probably too much to have the leaves and the snowflakes. I could maybe take out the snowflakes. Do you want to take out the snowflakes? I quite like snowflakes. I think we need more silver stars. So whatever you've got handy, folks, sequins, glitter, I'm sure you've got sparkly stuff that you could put in a little packet that would move around like this. I think it's good. Okay, that'll do. So I am going to take this to the sewing machine now, and I am going to try and get my little pile of goodies somewhere in the middle. Let me move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to stitch round in a circle. And I want my circle, I think my circle's going to go on the tag, so that's a good size as it happens. If I draw around this with my Posca pen, it should be writing on the plastic. There we go. So I'm going to sew inside that line on the sewing machine. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, I don't think you could hand stitch it. You could try and glue the two edges. I think probably what I would be better would be to cut out 2 circles and then maybe try and tape the edges with some washi tape. I think that might work. But yeah, if you don't have a sewing machine, don't panic. There are other options. This was a little bit tricky and you have to take it slowly, but it worked okay actually. The main thing is just to make sure that all your sparkly bits stay inside the circle as much as possible. It doesn't matter if 1 or 2 escape, but you need to get most of them in the middle, and preferably not underneath your stitching, because if you stitch them in, they won't be able to move around. It worked! I am so pleased. Look, and we can shake our pockets around as if it's being blown by the wind. I'm so pleased with that. So I am going to cut out a circle in this tag, I think, and stick it on. So this was the thing that we used for our circle. You decide where you want your circle to be. Yeah, about there, I think. And I'm going to draw around this again with a Posca pen. Now, if you had a gorgeous, huge round hole punch, then you could do this with that, but I don't happen to have something like that. So I want this hole to be slightly bigger than my pocket. I think I've got to be careful here because I haven't got much room at the edges. I'm just going to use my scissors to cut this out. Now, before sticking that on, I have the urge to draw a tree. So I'm going to do that now. I'm using a Stabilo All, which I may or may not, which is water soluble, and I may or may not add some water to it. Let's see how we go. When we think of a tree losing its leaves and the leaves being caught by the wind in swirling patterns, or if we think of that snow globe being shaken up and all the snow swirling around, we can see movement, can't we? The effect of the wind is to move things in interesting ways. And it's a good reminder that God is not static. Some philosophies have the idea of a God who maybe created everything in the beginning, set it all up, and then went on holiday. A God that is not actively involved in the day-to-day of life here on earth. But that is not the God that we worship. We believe that God is living and active and always influencing what is going on in our own lives and in the world around us. The Bible says, "The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it's going. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit." That's John chapter 3, verse 8. I love that imagery of a wild and untamed God just blowing wherever he pleases. But in reality, when God throws the pieces up into the air, it can feel quite chaotic, can't it? And to be honest, sometimes we don't like it. I struggle with change. I like stability, if I'm honest. I like to feel that I know where I'm at, and it can be difficult when everything seems in flux. It must have felt difficult for Mary too, as she encountered problems and variations on her plan. She probably didn't plan to go to Bethlehem. That was a bit of a curveball. She probably planned to have her baby at home in Nazareth. She certainly didn't plan to give birth in a stable. And then even after Jesus was born, think of the chaos that Herod caused, trying to find Jesus and kill him. But God is in control even when it looks like chaos. He is the wind moving the pieces into place. There's a line in a David Crowder song, "Love's like a hurricane, I am a tree, bending beneath the weight of its wind and mercy." So as I'm adding my ribbon to the top of the tag, I'm praying, "Lord, help me to trust that everything will fall into place just as you intend it to do." I hope this has inspired you to have a go and create your own shaker pocket. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and that you've hit that little bell so that you will get a notification for the next Advent video. Bye for now.